Today on Design, Build, and Fix, we're going to show you how to draw a gable roof in Sketchup. But before you can do that, you have to know how to calculate roof pitch. So we're going to show you that first. This is going to be the first in a series of videos that's going to show you how to do a gable roof, hip roof, and a hip roof with reverse gable. So make sure you tune in for all three of those videos. Again, remember, if you like the content, help me out and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Alright, so let's jump right into the video. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is understand what a roof pitch is. We have a rise, which is how far the roof goes up, and the run, which is how far the roof actually goes over. And so what we're going to do is take this house as an example. The span of this house, or the distance across it, is 25 feet. We know that we're going to have a 1 foot overhang on each side. So that means the total span is 27 feet. That's 25 plus 1 gives us 27. And for this house design, it could be different. It could be a 512, 612, 712, 1212, 412, whatever it is. Let's say, for example, it's a 512 pitch. That means that for every 12 inches of run, it goes up, 12 feet of run, it goes up 5 feet. It could be 12 inches or 5 inches. Either way, it's the same. All right, so it's a 512 pitch. And so in order to do this, what we have to do is set up a proportion. And so I'm going to do this, 5 over 12. This is the rise, that's the run, and we're going to cross multiply it with, well, we know that our run for our house is 27. But realistically, it's not 27. It's actually going to be half that, because we're only going up halfway and then we're coming back down. So if we take 27 divided in half, you're going to get 13.5 feet, and that's going to be over or under an x. So x is what we're trying to find, is what is the rise, because that's in question right now. So we're going to just cross multiply this. We're going to take 5 times 13.5 and then 12 times x. So it's going to be 12x is equal to, and we go 5 times 13.5 gives us 67.5. Then what we have to do is isolate the x, divide by 12. So x, we've crossed those out, x equals, so it's 67.5 divided by 12. That's going to give us 5.625 feet. All right. Well, 5.625 feet is an issue because that's not in 0.625 isn't in inches. It's actually in 5/8 of a foot. So the better way to do this isn't to divide it by feet, is to do it by inches. So what we're going to do is come over here and convert everything into inches, because these are 5 feet. All right, so what we're going to do is take 5 times 12, gives us 60, and 12 times 12 is 144. And then our x stays the same. And then if we take 13.5 feet, multiply it by 12, going to give us 13.5 times 12 gives us 162 inches. So we're going to take 60 times 162 and 144 times x. So we're going to 144x equals 162 times 60 gives us 9,720. We have to isolate the x, so we're going to divide by 144. So x is going to equal 9,720 divided by 144 gives us 67.5 inches. So that means that this right here with a 512 pitch is going to give us 67.5 inches. So that's how you calculate pitch. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is to create a surface that we actually want to be able to draw on. So I'm going to grab the rectangle tool, and I'm going to go from the farthest point out and go corner to corner. You may have to zoom in a little bit if you have to. And you do that until all of the surface is covered up. Right, so now it's covered up, we're going to erase those lines where those rectangles connected to, gives us a solid surface. Grab the offset tool, and what we want to do now is to create our soffit. Most overhangs in the United States are 12 inches. Some of them are 6, some of them have none. The best bet is at least something, so we're going to use 12 because I'm a big fan of 12. Grab the push-pull tool. Gotta grab the push-pull tool. And now what we want to do is raise this up 6 inches, because what that's going to do is to give us our fascia board here. So the under part of here is the soffit. This is our fascia board. And we're going to push-pull this up the same distance. Now we want to get rid of these lines all the way around. And if it's leaving little dots behind, you're going to want to get rid of those dots also. Okay, so now we have our surface that we can work on. It has our soffit, our fascia, it has everything that we need. Now what we have to do is to put our gable roof on. Now there's the main gable roof that goes across this house this way, and then there's a gable that's back here and the 2 gables up front. Because the gable runs this way, that's the main gable roof, and so any gable that goes 90 degrees to it is going to be considered a reverse gable. So that's a reverse, reverse, and a reverse. So let's put our main gable on first. I'm going to rotate this around. And so this distance is 37 feet. And I know that if you cut that in half, it's 18.5 feet. And I know that it's a 111-inch rise based on 18.5 feet. So what I'm going to do is put on a guide on here that's going to go straight up, make sure on the blue surface, and it's going to go up 111 inches, and then I know that half of this 37-inch or foot side is going to be 18.5 feet, and so that's going to give us our middle point. What we want to do now is to actually create the roof. So we'll go from the intersection to the end, and from here all the way across, and then from here all the way up, and that's going to fill that surface in. Alright, so now what we want to do is we're going to push-pull this all the way across, because that's going to be our main roof. Go all the way across until it's on edge, and if you take a look on it, you can see that it rotated it all the way around. I rotated it all the way around so you can see it. And at this point we can get rid of this line or not get rid of the line. Either way, you'll still have some stuff to get rid of, erase. Let's go ahead and let's just offset this first, because we have to create a rake edge here. So I'm going to grab the offset tool, and I'm going to come in 6 inches. Try that again. Come in 6 inches. And now what we want to do is we can go ahead and get rid of this line. We don't need that line anymore. And now what we want to do is to get a return on here. So this returns are mostly 16 inches. So I'm going to grab the measurement tool and come in to their edge here and go in 16 inches. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. 16 inches. And now what I want to do is I'm going to come in here and bring this line down, and I'm just going to grab the pencil tool, and I'm just going to follow that until it hits the line and then come straight down. That's going to create our return. Same thing is going to happen on this side, and then straight down. And this line we don't need anymore, so we can get rid of that. And now what we want to do is we want to push-pull this back to this face. And I'm just going to grab the push-pull tool and come right back onto that surface. I can get rid of my guides. Don't need the guides anymore. Alright, so now we still have this line on here that we have to get rid of. Well, didn't quite get push-pull all the way back. Let's push-pull that back. So we have to push-pull this back even with this wall. So I'm going to bring it here. Alright, now we have this line we have to deal with. So I'm just going to select it, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hide it. Don't erase it, you want to hide it. And then this other line that's on there is caused the top of this group. So I'm going to left click on the group, right click, edit group, select our line, right click, hide that. Okay. What do we got going here? Hide. Okay, hit the wrong button. Okay. So that gives you a clean face to work with. And you're going to do that same process back here and on the opposite side. The only difference over here is that our whole gable doesn't come all the way to here, it comes to here. So the whole process is just this pretty same. The only thing we have to do is draw a line down here, and then we can offset our gable rake edge in 6 inches. We'll just model this up for you real quick. And of course now we want a 16-inch return. Same thing we did on the opposite side. 16-inch. Over here, 16-inch on this side. And make sure you're on the correct axis. And then we can go ahead and draw the lines. Make sure it follows it till on line and bring it down. Same thing happens on this side. And come down. And then we can start getting rid of some of these lines. Okay. So now what we want to do is get that even with our sidewall. Grab the push-pull tool. Bring that in until it's even. Now we got some extra lines on here we're going to want to get rid of. We don't need this anymore, nor do we need this one or this one, because that cleans up that area nicely. We got one on this side, and we have another one here. And of course our guides are done, so we can get rid of our guides. Last but not least, we have to get rid of this. Same thing as the other side. Select it, right click, go to hide, and then right click on the group, edit group, and hide this one, and then they're gone. Okay, so now what we want to do is to go ahead and model the front part of it. Similar but different. And so we don't have to do any calculations anymore, because we know that this, as long as this pitch is the same as the other pitch, a 6/12 pitch. And so I'm going to rotate this around, and I'm just going to copy these things. So I'm going to grab the move tool, click Control, and I'm going to copy this. Oops. Of course I have to select it first. Select the line that you want. If not, it's not going to work. Grab the copy. And now I have that line, and I'm going to bring it over here. The problem is it goes in this direction. We need it to go that way, so it goes off the roof this way. So what we're going to do is grab the rotate tool, and I'm going to click here. Make sure it's on the blue surface. Go this way, and I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. So now it's facing the correct direction, and I can move it from here, and it's going to go back to that corner there. And now I can copy it because it's going to be the same thing here. So I'm going to grab the copy and put it on this corner. Alright, so now what we have to do is to get the ones that come over here. So what I'm going to do is just to grab one from over here, select it first, and zoom in. Grab the move, Control for a copy, and I'm just going to bring it out here in front. Now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it this way. Grab the rotate tool, and we want it to rotate it 90 degrees. So now it's facing the correct direction, and now we can go ahead and move that from there onto this corner. We don't have a corner to go to, so what we're going to have to do is come in here and just put a guideline on there. You have to select the line first, and then grab the copy. Move it from there back. Okay. Now what it did is it grabbed a smaller section of it because it intersected, which is not a big deal. So I'm just going to erase the parts that I don't need, because I don't need this one or this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to draw a line that follows that line like we did for the other part there. So I'm going to grab the pencil tool, follow it until it comes into it, and then I can erase this. Now it's not filled in because I haven't created a line all the way there, and I haven't created a line here. Okay, So now we have our faces. We're just going to push pull those back in. So when you do this, you're going to push pull it all the way back until it goes into this surface. Now it only allows you to go to the next edge. So what I'm going to do is just keep push pulling it until it disappears in here. Okay. Now as you can see, we have part of a roof, but that's not a big deal because we're just going to erase that. And notice it's gone. So all I have to do is grab the pencil tool and just redraw a line back on here, and that comes back in. I can erase and clean things up. Alright, so before we forget, notice there's no line there. We're going to want to draw a line that's going to give us an edge. Same thing's going to happen on this side. Okay. So let's go ahead and clean up some of this in here. And if I erase this, notice how it left everything except for here. I can get rid of that and that. Now those are gone. Okay. Same process is going to happen here. You're going to push pull this back in, and it's just going to go into that surface. And if that's gone, just grab the pencil tool, redraw a line back on. It heals the face. Now we can get rid of some of these lines because we don't need them. And notice what it did is it got rid of that surface. So I'm going to just heal it back up, and then I can erase this side. All right. Notice the roofs are different colors. Just go ahead and click on it, right click and reverse faces, and reverse this face, and then it looks like it's going to be good. Alright, now what we want to do, we got more things to clean up in here. Let's go ahead and erase that. Okay, one more dot in there, and then this line can go away too. Now we're coming back here. Now what you have to do is the same thing we just did on the other sides. You have to offset to create a rake edge. It's going to go in 6 inches. Same thing here, 6 inches. And let's do this one in the back first. Now this line we don't actually need, so we can erase that, but I'm going to finish this one up first. We're just going to follow that roof line down. We'll get rid of this, and then we don't need this anymore. The same process is we're going to do a return of 16 inches. So we got 16, draw our line, and then draw our line down, and then erase what we don't need. Of course we're not going to need that guide anymore, nor will we need this, but that needs to be pulled back into even with this surface here. So I'm just going to grab the push pull that back in, and of course same process, we have to erase, or not erase, but hide these lines. We're going to hide this. And this is part of another group, edit group. Come in here, right click, edit the group, select that. Let's see, oh I get it. I come in here and hide that. Okay. Well, we'll deal with that later. This video is getting a little bit long. But process is going to be the same. So what we're going to do here in the front, same thing. We're going to offset, or not offset, we're going to create our guides, which is going to be a 16-inch return. And then we have a 16-inch return over here. Draw our lines. Same thing on this side. Erase what we don't need. Get rid of our guides, and then we can push pull the surface back to the face, and then of course hopefully it works. Right click, hide that, right click, edit the group, and hide that, and that's going to give us what we actually need. Okay. And there you have it. So now we have a gable roof done in SketchUp. All right, thanks for watching another video. I hope you found that information helpful and useful, getting you to design that beautiful house. We have 2 more videos coming up. We're going to show you how to do a hip roof next, and then a hip roof with a reverse gable. So make sure you tune into those videos. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. All right, we'll see you on the next one.